This is after new guidelines from NICE, the National Institute for Health and Care Excellence, and they're saying that it is as... I think some of the headlines in the papers might be slightly misleading because they're saying it's safer. I think this is they're saying it's as safe if you have had a very normal pregnancy, there's no complications predicted, that 47% of women, they're saying, would, you know, could happily give birth at home and would be as safe for them and their babies as they would in hospital. I have to say, I read this and just go, no thanks. I've only had one child, didn't have him until I was 42, so I was worried about complications anyway because of my age. Everything about that, I would just say, no. I'd be too scared that something could go wrong, even if I'd had an uncomplicated pregnancy. I want to be in hospital with the best people on hand, the crash teams and anything else that I might need. Would you ever consider it? Have you considered it?
I totally understand your point of view, but I just think as women, this is what we are made to do. We are made to give birth to children. That's what our whole makeup is about. And I just...
Yeah, we didn't ask for it, did we? Choice.
And so to me, I think that we probably lack confidence in ourselves, in our whole, what's it called, physiology. We are capable of giving birth at home. I intended to have my second child at home. I was at home for 19 hours. I was in labour for 19 hours, and then I did have complications. I think one of the great advantages of living in the Western world is the fact that we have the NHS to lean on. So when I did have complications, I was able to go to a hospital and get that care. And I do think that we need to realise that we have that as an option as well, that, you know, we have options, we have choices.
Yes, and I think choice is very, very important. And I think, you know, a lot of the midwives and things that have been given comments today saying it's very important that women have choice. Can I just ask you, so you planned this home birth, that's what you wanted. Up until the point where you had complications with your baby, were you quite happy being at home?
Honestly,
you didn't feel nervous or worried?
I was in a blissful state, like literally, and I know that might sound so weird, being in labour, but honestly, and I was just so prepared and ready for this experience. I was in pain, but I was dealing with it, and it was wonderful. And the moment I got into the hospital, I just, you know, I think it's the whole psychological aspect of it as well, realising, well, the doctors are here, and why do you have doctors? Because you might die. And I think that's how I felt. And it would just, those last 4 hours were, and I had my first daughter in hospital. That again was fantastic, epidural, everything, didn't feel a thing. But I would definitely go for a home birth next time round if I was to have another one.
Talking, Janet, about midwifery units or birthing centres.
Well, we haven't got enough midwives in this country.
Exactly.
So although they're telling people to go to these units and to have their babies there, and often these units are attached to a hospital or not far from a hospital, but they've got a completely different atmosphere, which obviously is going to be much more friendly and female friendly. The fact of the matter is there aren't enough of them anyway. And if you go there, great, but if you're at home and you have a complication, the second thing is that lots of hospitals have closed and emergency units have combined. So what if you have complications at home? You might be travelling a very long distance to a hospital and specialised care.